Welcome to Probably Drinking Prosecco with Seth and Dak. 1, 2, 3, here we go. Let's hear that beat drop. All right, welcome back. So today was a special day. What happened?
So today was special for many reasons, right?
The reason number one, the big reason.
Okay. Reason number one, the big reason is we published our first episode of the podcast. Very exciting.
We are now proud parents of a podcast.
Called Probably Drinking Prosecco.
But you
Welcome
knew
back.
that. But you knew
Welcome
that.
back. You knew that.
So we have a TikTok now, and we have a Twitter. account. So go make sure to go follow us.
Probably
It's,
Drinking Prosecco.
at Probably Drinking Prosecco.
And we plan to make an Instagram. We plan to expand on this, but we wanted to start small. I don't want to do too much too quick because I want to make sure that I'm putting enough into the Twitter and into the Twitter.
We don't want to do too much.
Into the Twitter and into the Twitter.
We don't want to do too much for our 7 listeners.
Which-
So yeah, we're now on Spotify and Apple Podcast.
Yay.
We'll be on Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, and a few others soon. So look forward to that, right?
Yay.
Yay.
Sorry, not the sarcasm. I'm very excited.
So let's get into the show. What topics do we have today?
Oh, we've got some great topics. So today, Seth and I, also Joey, shout out Joey.
Joey wasn't there.
He was at the film though when we were shooting
Oh,
today.
yeah. Well, we went
So I'm
and
talking
shot.
about the day.
Yeah.
Talking about the day.
Okay. I
We went-
thought you were going through our list of topics, but it's fine.
I'm starting. Okay, so we went on a shoot today. We filmed somebody who owns a candle company for our class. So we shot an interview. Went great, right?
Really
So-
cool candles. Like I bought one. Smells like my childhood Christmas.
And I bought a backpack that I've been needing. Been wanting.
Wanting. Keyword wanting.
I need it. All right.
Okay, SpongeBob.
I need it. All right. So the reason why we're even talking about this is because it leads into our first topic, which is
Yes.
good deeds.
Good deeds. Today was a day of good deeds,
It was.
which is rare because we're both non-confrontational people. So like rolling down the window and saying something to someone is not something we do.
No. We don't do the social. We don't talk to
don't do
the
the
people.
social. Yes.
We don't do people very well. Hint, podcast alone. In a room, no people
This
around.
is a way we can talk to people without having to talk to people,
Exactly. So, one of our first good deeds of the day involves donut.
Ooh.
Just singular donut.
Let's preface this, right? So we were on our way to the shoot. I was hungry and had been craving chocolate milk all morning.
Chalky milk.
Chalky milk, yes.
Chalky milk.
So we stopped at the gas station and I grabbed myself some chocolate milk.
And I grabbed myself some coffee,
Yeah, but that's not part of the story. So
but I did. I did.
back off.
I grabbed
Back off my story.
coffee. Okay, but I can't have the energy without coffee.
Okay, well, good for you. Anyway, so I grabbed myself some chocolate milk. And then I got myself 2 pumpkin donuts that were of the Krispy Kreme variety. The best. Because Dunkin' don't know how to do pumpkin. So I bought all this, right? And we go to our shoot. I eat my first donut on the way. Not really feeling hungry enough to eat a second one, so I just kind of let it sit in the car.
And I don't really care for a pumpkin donut, so
Yes, her and Joey both despise pumpkin.
Joey did not want it. Joey did not want it.
So I sat in the car while we did our interview. Blah, blah, blah. Interview's over. We drive away. We're going to Shake Shack. We eat Shake Shack. And then we're coming back. We're going back to our hotel rooms and everything.
Beep beep driving
And there's this homeless man in a wheelchair.
that
who
we
starts-
see at a median. We are
Yeah, well,
at
we
a
were
red
stopped
light.
at the stoplight. We were like 4 cars behind the stoplight. And this guy starts rolling into the intersection. And I'm like, please come down the middle of our cars.
We're like, come down the middle. Come down the middle.
come
We
down the
just
middle
we
lanes.
want to see
And
it.
then he did. And I got a little scared. I'm not going to lie.
I did too. I was like, oh no,
But
oh
then
no.
I was like, I've always like been the type of person in the back of my head, I'm thinking I should help this person. I should give them something, give them a water,
Well, you're like, what does
give
this
them some
sign
food, some
say?
money.
I read it to you, and I was like, do we have any money?
Well, we
And
don't,
then
I
you
don't carry
went,
cash.
we have a donut.
Well, and so like I figured this man, if he's homeless, you know, he wants food. And rather than give someone money where they can go out and, you know, instead of buy food, they can buy drugs, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, let's offer this man a donut. So I rolled down her window and I was like, you're saying it. And she goes,
And I was like,
what'd you say?
I was like, oh, I'm scared. I don't know. I don't know if we should do this like a donut. Like I felt like weird. I felt bad because
But
people
you-
want like money.
But you have to think about it. Like, if you're homeless and you're that desperate, any little thing helps.
But when you
As
think
many
about
as sign says, any little thing helps.
when you think about homeless, you're just like, they don't want a freaking try not to cuss.
No,
they
we
don't want
can
a freaking
cuss.
pumpkin donut, right? So I felt a little like this isn't enough because I want to make sure I'm giving something. So you roll down the window and you're like, just do it, just do it, just do it.
Okay. Here's where we bring in a Christian principle, shall we?
Shall
Bring
we?
religion back into it.
Shall we?
It's not about giving the most. It's about giving what you have, right?
Okay. Okay.
This was shown in a story in the Bible where one of the priests comes in and tithes so much money, and then another lady who didn't have as much money gave what she had. And God looked more favorably on her for giving what she had versus the rich and high priest, you know, giving all this a big sum of money.
Okay. So
So it's about giving what you have, not giving the most. And so we gave what we had. We gave this man a donut.
So I will say, you know, I'm learning from Seth and the person that I am. I just want to give as much as I can. I want to make sure I'm doing the most. But you saying that right now,
Is that the name of the podcast now? Doing the most.
doing the most, it makes sense. And so, yeah, the window was rolled down. He handed me the donut, you know, wrapped up in the little wrapper. And I leaned my head out the window and I just said, hey, like, would you like a donut? And he said,
Yes.
absolutely. He was like, absolutely, I would love a donut. Or he was
So-
so kind. And I handed it to him and he kept on like, you know, wheeling by. And my first reaction was like, wow, that was enough. Because I'm thinking like I need to give this man $50, $100. But the donut, he was so accepting to it. And that just like kind of meant a lot to me. And it meant a lot to both
Yeah.
of us. And I was surprised, I
Yeah.
guess was my first reaction. But we felt great afterwards. He was very excited to have this Krispy Kreme pumpkin donut.
And I do want to say, like, we're not saying this to like brag on ourselves. We're saying this because we're sharing our stories, and we just want to share like what's happening in our lives because I don't know, maybe it inspires you. But you know, we just gave what we had,
It was our day, and we felt good about it. And
Yep.
we just want to talk about it.
and it emboldened us to do what was the next good deed we did today.
So the next good deed that we did today.
Was whose idea once again?
Okay, listen. When we talk about unconfrontational,
Okay, but this one's a good deed, but it's also a very interesting story.
if you listen to our first podcast, we're both in the military. You know, we're both enlisted, lower ranking,
enlisted.
E4s, right?
E4s.
E4s. Okay.
But it's a little different because in the Marines it's an NCO, which is like regarded a little higher than say E4 somewhere else.
Okay.
You?
I'm a staff sergeant select, so
But you're not a staff sergeant. Yeah, you're a staff sergeant select. Keyword.
anyway, so keeping on the topic of good deeds, we are driving back, right? We had given the guy the donut. We felt really good about it. He was really appreciative. We're driving back, you know, listening to some jams, and we get back to base. We're
Specifically, the specific song, because this
Specific.
does tie into the story. Like,
Tie it in.
Not tying in. It's just like a little interesting tidbit that happened. We're listening to "Bitch Better Have My Money" by Rihanna.
Oh, it does tie in. So we listen to a few songs, right? Well, Seth is playing songs, right? And I'm like, I want to play stuff I can sing. I'm sick of just hearing these songs I can't sing. I like to just, you know, go along with the tune. So you connect our Spotify's, whatever.
Yeah, we put like a
just
jam on
sprinkling-
so we could.
put a jam on. So Rihanna is playing. bitch better have my money.
It's playing on.
Bitch better have my money. And we're
Yeah.
jamming, right? And we're getting close to base. We're getting there. And we're starting to pull in.
Mm-hmm.
And Seth sees somebody with one crutch or two.
He had one crutch,
One crutch.
and a
Boot.
not a boot. It's one of those leg braces.
Okay, a
For
leg
like when you
brace.
like tear your ACL, that kind of brace.
Okay, so
And
he had a brace.
He was walking to get onto base, right?
Walking. But we were entering the base, right? So we're going through, it's kind of swerving,
Mm-hmm.
and we see him, and, he's got a military haircut, and says, like, should we stop and ask him if he needs a ride? Obviously, my first reaction is no, because anxiety. But Seth pulls over, puts the hazards on, and we have a couple seconds before this man
Limps to where our
limps
car
his way up,
is.
and we're like, okay, we roll the window down. Obviously, it's on my side again, and I was like, do you want me to say it? Do you want to say it? And he comes up, and Seth goes, hey, like, would you like a ride?
And he was like, I'm going to blah, blah, blah. Is that okay? And I was like, that's absolutely fine.
Which is the doctor on base.
No, blah, blah, blah. No, we're not telling details about that kind of
I didn't say the name of it. It's
Anyway.
like he's going to the
See,
doctor.
So he's going to the doctor, yes.
Yes.
And I was like, hey, yeah, that's no problem. Get in the car. Because obviously I know how far of a walk that is. And I don't know how far he's walked already in a knee brace and a crutch.
And it's warm out today,
Yeah,
which
and I
is
was like-
super
I
weird.
was like, get in the car.
He hops in. So I'm pulling my seat up. We're fucking throwing shit in the back seat. Like, hey, let's make room for this man.
Yeah.
He is in what, like a green
Green shirt. It doesn't
green
matter.
shirt. Green.
He's wearing-
He just looks like, a guy in the military.
Yeah.
And we're like, hey, let's help this guy out. That's our
So-
first impression.
Yeah, so we start driving, and we start talking.
He gets in. We start
We introduce
driving.
ourselves. We ask him his name. He gives us his name, and then I'm like, "So what branch are you in?" He goes, "Oh, I'm in the Marine Corps." I was like, "Oh, that's cool. Me too."
Hoorah!
And instinctively, I go, "What's your rank?" And this man says, "I'm an 07. Hope that doesn't make it weird."
07. So
That's a 1-star general.
I thought he was an E7. So I'm chilling. I'm like, oh, hey, like, this is great. Seth's like, what's your job? We're all just chit-chatting.
Well,
He gives us his first name, by the way.
he gives us his first name,
And so we'll call him
John.
Mike.
Mike. Okay, Mike. We'll call him Mike.
Mike's closer. Hey, Mike. Glad we could pick you up. Oh, what's your job, Mike? Like, we're chit-chatting with Mike here.
Yeah.
And
Well,
you ask his rank, right? He says 07. We get a little stiff. We're like,
He's like, I hope that doesn't make it weird, and I'm like, no, it's
I thought he
fine.
said
But internally,
E-
I'm going, oh my god, that's a really high-ranking officer.
well, I thought he said E7, which is enlisted versus officer. And I was still a little bit like, oh, that's still way above our pay grade. Like, still. E7 versus E4.
Yeah.
And then, so we drive him to his location, which we weren't going anywhere, right? Like, we're not on a time crunch. We're like, hey, we'll drive you where you need to go. This guy was, just trying to get somewhere. So we drop him off. We're being very polite. I hear Seth saying like, oh, sir, thank you so much, sir, or glad we could help, sir. And he gets out and he goes, and then I'm enlightened that this guy is a 1-star.
Well, you're like, should we have like given him our number so that he can text us when he gets done? We can go pick him up.
Because I wanted to pick him up after, because
And
I don't want him
was
to
like-
go back home.
I was like, no,
Like,
it's good. I was like, it's good. She's like, why? I was like, because he's an 07.
and I was like,
And
oh,
That's when she realized.
07.
07.
07. Yeah. So me and Seth, if you know the military or whether you don't, we're very, very low ranking, I would say.
Well,
across,
I mean, I don't think I'm low ranking.
we're pretty low
I'm
compared
mid-ranking.
to who we just picked up.
I mean, compared to who we picked up. Oh, yeah.
Yes, that's
low
what I'm
ranking.
saying. That's what I'm saying. So we are very low ranking compared to who we picked up. And
But he was the nicest guy.
the
He was
Mike,
so sweet.
calling him Mike.
Mike was so sweet.
And he gets out. I'm like, hey, our pleasure, Mike. I'm thinking he's an E7. But we truly could believe it when we drove away. And we were like, did we just pick up a
A
1-star
one-star?
general and drive him to where he needed to go. And honestly, I felt really good about it. Whether he was an E1, O1,
Well, yeah.
07, it felt really nice.
And you got to think about the impression it makes to have an E4 pull over and offer to give you a ride of the same branch, because there were so many cars that had passed him,
So many.
and then an E4 of your branch pulls over and says, "Hey, do you want to ride?" That's got to like remind you, especially the Marine Corps, like that reminds you of our core values:
Brotherhood.
honor, courage, commitment. And I just wanted to support the man.
So, not only that, but we pick up Mike, right? And we're driving. And he's pretty thankful. Like, he's so thankful. And he goes, the car just broke down, or, right?
Well, his car was in the shop.
His car was in the
I think it's the
shop.
perfect storm. His car was in the shop.
He walked an hour. Remember? He said that?
Yeah.
He was walking. Am I right?
Yeah, he said
he was
his-
walking for an hour. So we picked him up at the base, like at the gate, which was still pretty far from where he was trying to go.
Oh yeah, that would have been at least a 30-minute walk for him.
30 more. I mean, he was on a crutch.
That's what I'm saying.
So
That
way
would have been
more.
at least 30.
So when he was like, "Oh, I've been walking an hour," the car's in the shop. He just said it so nonchalant, but I'm sitting there like, what?
That man's a beast. I'll give him that. He's a
That one
kind
star.
soul.
Mike.
Shout out Mike.
Shout out, Mike. No, your name's not Mike, but if you're listening.
Mike's definitely not listening.
But like, we're sitting in the car and like, I start just pointing the air vents to the back because I can see that he's like, I visibly can see that he's sweating.
Well,
Again,
yeah.
it's fall, but like, it was a hot day today.
warm for a fall day,
I
yeah.
knew it was going to be warm out today. And before I even knew that he was a 1-star general, I'm like, oh, let me point the air back at him. He's like sweating. He just told us he walked like for an hour. Like, this is, I want to help him any way we can, which we were driving him, but still just trying to help him. And
It's more than anybody else did to help him.
more than
obviously.
anybody else did. And that says a lot coming from me and Seth, because we're not like people.
We were emboldened today.
And not to dwell on this too long, but it felt really great. And so if you get anything from the story, it's that don't just pull over for random people, right? We were by a base. We knew that he was military related.
Yeah,
and
he
things
was
like that.
obviously walking up towards the gate because he
Yes.
reached that roadway that goes straight to the gate and
Yep.
nowhere else. So we knew where he was heading.
And we knew, and he pulled out his CAC card.
It's a CAC, not a
CAC.
'cause the last C in CAC stands for card.
All right. Anyway, he pulled it out.
He
like
pulled out his
we knew.
military
Like,
ID
we're
For
not.
those who don't know.
But so the moral of this story is don't pull over for strangers. But if you feel compelled to do something for somebody, whether it's hand a donut out the window, pull over for somebody on crutches, give somebody $1, if you feel that, if you feel compelled at Starbucks to pay for the person behind you, whatever,
Act on it.
act on it.
Because why? That's probably God speaking to you.
And that is Seth's words, or it's just the way of the world. You just never know. If you're feeling that, go with that feeling.
Yeah.
Please, but I will discretion. Don't
Well, be cautious, of
be
course.
cautious. Yes, obviously.
Always
don't
be cautious.
Don't just like pick up a hitchhiker because
Or
you're
two.
like,
Maybe they're trying to
no.
get somewhere important.
Nope.
They got a job interview they got to
but
get
you don't
to.
know and you don't want to die. Hello, Ted Bundy,
Okay.
or what's the other guy?
Zodiac Killer. I don't know.
No, the glasses.
I don't know.
The glasses. It was the not Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy.
Not Ted Bundy. Similar to Ted Bundy.
Anyway, moving on.
Moving on. Just be kind.
All right.
Feels good to be kind. That's all that matters.
Feels great to be kind. So on to our next topic,
All right.
which is,
Movies that we watched last night.
or recently. So what did you watch last night?
Don't know what it's called. You know what it's called because you watched it.
It's called No Hard Feelings.
No hard feelings. Okay.
I watched, ooh, I touched my mic.
Yep.
I watched another movie. I watched, what was it called? 4 Good Days with Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis.
It was depressing, but it was so good.
What was good about it?
It was depressing.
Okay.
I wasn't.
Was the story moving?
I was very sad last night. Going through some things. So I was just like looking for a really sad movie. And I remember that I'd seen the trailer for this when it was about to come out. and it's about Mila Kunis, and she's on drugs.
The
She's,
character, not
yeah, her character is on drugs. Her character is doing like heroin, all kinds of things. She's been to rehab 14 different times, and she comes home to her mom and it's like, I really want to get clean this time. And it's about her journey getting clean. The doctor's like, hey, there's a shot we can give you where you're no longer able to get high anymore. Like but you have to get it monthly. But you have to be clean for 7 days before you can get the shot. Otherwise, you'll go into rapid withdrawals,
Oh wow.
which are really violent. I'll spoil the movie because I don't give a fuck. So basically, at the end, what happens is she admits to her mom right before she's about to go get the shot, hey, I haven't been clean. I need your pee.
No.
And her mom's like really conflicted. Her mom doesn't want to do it. Her mom's upset at her. But eventually her mom does it, right? So her mom does it and she gets the shot and they're walking back to the car and she's like, oh, I'm fine. I feel fine.
Oh no.
And then right at the end, she starts going into rapid withdrawals. So her mom rushes her to the hospital.
Very sad.
And, she gets through it, though. She gets through the withdrawals. They're just really painful. And, look, she suffered for a whole day and a day or more. But she gets off the drugs. And by the end of the movie, she was clean for 4 months. And that's where it ended. Which, honestly, the movie reminds me of another movie called Beautiful Boy. It's a very similar story, but about a guy and his dad. And in the end of that movie, his dad just ends up giving up on him and letting him, his son doesn't recover from the drugs. He doesn't get off of them. He goes back. So this was more of the happier ending, and Beautiful Boy is more really depressing side of it. But overall, it was a good movie. I didn't tear up. I just felt awful the entire time, which didn't help because already feeling awful. So awful with awful was really awful.
Yeah.
But
movies are supposed to make you feel something.
yeah, so that's how I knew it was a good movie because it made me feel that type of way,
Mm-hmm.
Also, Mila Kunis, even on drugs, she's top tier.
Love her. Love Mila Kunis.
So let's talk about what you watched. You watched No Hard Feelings?
Yep. No Hard Feelings. Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
Don't really. Oh, another actor. I think he was Ferris Bueller. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
You talking about the love interest?
No, the dad.
Dad.
It's all right.
Wasn't it?
I think it was. He looked very familiar, and I think that was him. Seth's mic just slowly fell down his shirt. But it was a good movie. It was a good story.
I really liked the theme of, the Gen Z and the millennials being able to learn something from each other.
That was very interesting.
And the bonding between the two generations. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed that.
If you're interested in it at all, it's kind of like a raunchy rom-com.
Yeah.
So give it a watch. Yeah, like Seth said, millennial, Gen Z kind of balance. I think it's a pretty good movie. But that's what I watched, and I enjoyed it. I don't really have too much to say about it other than that. But if you guys have any movies that you guys like or have watched recently, comment, let us know, and we will absolutely watch them, and we will probably drink Prosecco. Or we will probably watch them. Probably.
Maybe. I'm a very busy man.
Yeah, very busy,
I have college.
Very
I
busy
have food
people.
in my mouth. I have college to do.
Go to college.
Don't mock me.
You literally said that. I have college. Sorry. Let's move on. We'll get more into the movie topics later,
Can
right?
we just mention the fact of how many freaking ladybugs there are in my room?
I am so glad that you said that because that is the next topic.
But dude, they're everywhere.
So when we walk into our hotel currently, we're both in Maryland.
As you walk into the lobby.
When you walk in, there's just ladybugs, all outside the door, right? And then inside there's ladybugs. And we're just what is that? What's going on? Well, Seth's room is currently being overtaken by at least 10. 10.
There's a few of them, yeah.
There's at least 10. If I look in any
on,
direction, there are ladybugs, and they're all over the ceiling. Is that like
Pause. I have a really important sound bite to let everyone listen to.
All right,
Ready?
all right. Are you gonna crunch a chip? Yep, he's gonna crunch a chip.
How dare you spoil it for the people?
Okay, it was pretty obvious. Ladybugs all over the ceiling. Ladybugs everywhere. They freak me out. They try to fly, but they're everywhere. And if you're from the Northeast, I'm very Southwest. So
Yeah, I'm very south, you know?
ladybugs, let us know because I don't get it. Is this the time of year? It's late
don't know.
October that ladybugs just take over.
I don't know, I
But
was
also,
walking in.
there's none in my room. So why are they all
I
in your?
walked in and there were everyone. I was like looking at them, and the cleaning lady saw me and she goes, "Oh yeah, ladybugs," and then just kept walking. And I was like,
Did 10 ladybugs
it's
land
normal?
on you, and then you came into your room and they?
"Well, no, that day that I came in, and I noticed all the ladybugs like as I was walking in the lobby. I came into my room that night, and then I saw one flying around. It started with just one. I think maybe there are two, because now there's 10, and I think they multiplied.
That's kind of quick though, but
I mean, I don't know anything about ladybugs' reproductive system or times or whatever.
all I know is there's a fuck ton of bugs in this room. I mean, sure, they're ladybugs, but they're fucking everywhere, and it's creeping me the fuck out. I don't know how you're sleeping in here. There's no ladybugs in my room, and I walk under them when I come in every single day.
It's like camping.
But we couldn't not talk about this because we're sitting here talking, and there's just ladybugs.
Oh, look, there's one right there.
Yeah, they're everywhere, and they just love to move around. Don't like it. Shout out ladybugs.
Shout out ladybugs.
Shout out ladybugs.
Instead, I said our catchphrase, shout out to whatever.
Shout out Joey. Shout out Mike.
And
shout out ladybugs.
Oh, one more shout out.
Oh,
This shout out goes to Prosecco.
obviously.
Shout out Prosecco.
Shout out Prosecco. Because is that what we're drinking?
This is what I drank earlier.
Well,
Probably, maybe.
probably. All right. Are we rolling into the end? 27 minutes in. We got another 10 minutes
Well,
at least.
what else we got? What other topics you got planned for us?
Well, there was one we cut, but if we want to talk about the last one, my husband's TikTok randomly goes viral,
Your husband's TikTok famous.
and it is just memes.
I'm a little jealous though. Like,
It's a meme. They're just straight up memes.
I want to take his fame so that I can have money. Because if this podcast becomes popular enough, I can make some money, and to the point where I can say, "Oh, I don't care about the podcast anymore. I've got the money."
But we
Again, like I said, episode
Okay.
1, I'm only here for the money.
We just started this. We have 7 listeners, and we are 4 of them.
What do you mean we're 4? We're 2 of them.
And we want to do this podcast though because we're just trying to like keep this friendship, because after this we're going to be, spread apart, different things like that. So we just want to keep this friendship going. We want to continue talking. Now, if this podcast makes money, we're not going to be opposed to that.
Well,
And are we going to use my husband's platform on TikTok as a meme account?
I think we should.
Well, I had him repost our TikToks. Shout out, probably drinking Prosecco
On TikTok, Twitter.
Had him repost it. But I think it's just crazy because like his TikToks are just like funny videos.
Yeah.
And then he just puts the text and it's just like, oh, me when blah 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 or something. And his most recent one
Has 2.3 million likes.
Let's-
Over 10 million views.
Oh, let's look it up live, right? Let's look it up right now. And I want to know
And what does our most recent TikTok have?
literally freaking 0.
No, it has like
We're
4
looking-
likes.
Okay, 4. We're 2 of them. His most recent TikTok. Should I play a little sound or is that?
Just tell the people what they want to hear.
No, mostly just the basic nonsense.
All right. If that sounded intriguing,
It's a man dancing like an autistic child.
it says hiring manager. So why should we hire you? Me. And it's somebody just being a little funky, being a little weird, being a little silly, being a little whatever. 2.4 million likes,
went up.
25,700. It did go up. Comments, 254,000 saves, 221,000 shares, and 10.9 million views. His next one has 1.4 million views. His next one has 1.1 million views. And it just slowly goes down from that. But it's just memes.
Which, I mean, I run a meme page, but it's not that successful.
Let's talk about your meme page.
Let's not. I don't need them connecting that page with this podcast.
What's wrong with that? Anyway.
I run a very, very Christian meme page. Well, I co-run with one of the buddies of mine. We have almost 4.2 thousand followers, and we barely had the page for a year. So I'd say we're doing pretty good. You can go try to find it. I don't know if you'll find it or not. I mean,
That's a challenge.
it's pretty obscure. If you can find it and send it to our email, which is on our TikTok, I don't know. We'll give you a shout out in our next episode.
Our email is probably drinkingprosecco@gmail.com. If you're wondering.
It's
you
also
didn't remember it?
Well, I mean, if I drove them to our TikTok by saying it's in our TikTok.
Yes, but I am also the people, and I'm also lazy. So just tell me, because I am very lazy.
That's your opinion. That is incorrect. According to the
That's
Encyclopedia of World.
Incorrect.
Anyway. I have a question.
About?
How do you flirt on online dating? Because apparently I'm doing it wrong.
Okay, this is very funny because I am married to my high school sweetheart. So,
So you know nothing. I'm asking
I
the
didn't
wrong
have to
person.
flirt. Yeah, you're fucking asking the wrong person. So I never had to do any of that shit. Got married at 19 and been with him ever since. But I think, and let me know, listeners, all 7 of you, if I'm wrong, just be genuine. Just be you. And the right person will come around. If you're being you and this person's like, ew, or you're weird, they're not the person. Just be you.
It's that second message where they just don't respond. Because like I matched with this, well, I sent a like to this really cute girl on Hinge, and I was like,
Never been on it.
I was like, you look stunning, and she responded back and said, oh, thank you, and then I sent her a message and have not heard anything since.
I'll be honest, I think stunning's a weird adjective.
Well, you know,
I'll be honest. Stunning?
stunning.
You look stunning.
She was stunning.
Are you 85? That's a weird adjective.
What am I supposed to say then?
You're Gen Z. Just say you look really great or you look beautiful.
You look busted.
No, don't say that. No. Wait. No, don't say that. Just stunning. That is so not like a common term. And you sound
no
weird.
cap. You look stunning. How's that?
I don't like the no cap. I don't like stunning. That's weird. It's weird.
All right, I got one.
Would you ever walk up to someone and go, hey, you look stunning? Okay,
Are you
weird.
a taser? Because damn, you're stunning.
That's better. That's better because stunning makes sense. I just probably maxed out the mic right there. That's better because it's funny and it makes sense. And if you're trying to relate to your audience, right, being the public affairs,
This isn't an audience. This is.
I'm just saying.
I'm looking
If
for
somebody
a wife.
messaged me and said, you look stunning, I would literally
What? What would you do?
jump off a bridge. Stunning?
Kill yourself? Don't do that.
Stunning?
Remember the view from halfway down.
Yes, we know this. But stunning? That's not... It's not cute. Stunning? Really?
Well, okay. This is why I was asking for advice.
You look
because I had
fantabulous.
No.
You might as well have just said that. You might as well have just said that. You might as well have just said that.
Well,
You should have just said that. Stunning.
stunning.
I think you're trying too hard because when I hear
Darling.
like, oh, you are just
What?
stunning.
Gorgeous.
It's like,
How's
okay.
gorgeous? Is that too much?
I don't like it. Be real. Like, what do you actually want to say? Like, hey, you know what?
I wanted to say she was stunning because she was stunning. I was
I don't like it.
taken aback.
be more real. Be like, you know what? Like, hey, you're really pretty. Or when I saw your photo, I was stunned. Why do you have to say she is stunning? Make it about you. Be like, I was stunned.
Why are you trying to give Gen Z advice when you're not even Gen Z?
Married for 8 years. I think I have a little bit of a justification.
But you're like, you got to be more Gen Z, relate to your audience.
Because I'm a woman, and no woman's going to be like,
you're not Gen...
I'm stunning.
You're not...
I'm stunning.
But I'm just saying, like...
What is this, the 1920s? I'm
Whatever.
stunning.
Whatever.
I'm stunning.
Whatever.
Nobody's going to say that.
Whatever.
You fucking know it, too.
Whatever.
But you could be
I
like,
do what I want.
Am I going to go up to my friends, right? I'm 20 years old, and be like, he called me stunning.
Maybe.
That is so weird. Or am I going to my friends be like, oh my God, he said, good morning, beautiful. He said that, like, you know what I mean? Like, that is something you could talk to your friend. Stunning. They'd
I
be
would
like,
never say good morning, beautiful. I just play Kanye's that goes, good morning.
and this is that Gen Z millennial gap here playing right now.
I love Kanye.
He loves Kanye. I'd never say, we're not talking about Kanye again.
You know what I listened to before this podcast?
Kanye?
Kanye.
Oh, you know what I listened to?
Billy.
I was watching Law and Order. No, that is so millennial.
Come on.
So just farted.
A what? Yes. And?
We don't disgrace Law and Order about that. Don't sniff it.
It smells like Shake Shack.
We did have Shake Shack for lunch. We had Shake Shack for lunch. Not us trying to draw out these last 5 minutes.
All right. I think we've reached the end of the show today.
Why? Because this is 4 minutes to close it out.
No, we should just close it.
We need to end this.
We're going off the rails.
We need to end this. Hey, you know what? Give us some topic ideas.
Yes.
All 7 of you. All 5 of you.
Email them, or if you know us personally, you can shoot us a text.
Let us know what sucks. Let us know what wouldn't suck.
Spotify has a Q&A feature. Submit it there, and we'll
Hell yeah.
get it on there. Want to be a
yeah.
guest on the show? Let us know.
I have something to say.
What?
Seth, you have chips all over your shirt.
That's 'cause I've been munching on chips.
He has tortilla chips all over his shirt. Like he's just been crunching, and they're everywhere. And there's more.
The sweet, sweet sound of chips.
But why do you have to get them all over your shirt? It's fine. We've all been there, but
Anyway,
you ever had chips all there?
this is your reminder to drink Prosecco
Probably.
responsibly.
Responsibly. Yes, if you're going to drink any type of alcohol, please be responsible.
But make sure it's Prosecco.
Probably.
Probably.
And